Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And the topic for today is abuse and your finances. Like, in which many ways does abuse affects your capacity to generate money and to save money, to accumulate money, and create a financial reality that you desire to have? Okay. One of the things that let's say, as a result or as an effect of abuse. That is, when you are abused or when you are in a situation that's abusive, it makes you to start to contract yourself, contract the space that you are functioning from. What it means, you sort of like, instead of continuously expanding out in that sense, it means you are looking for possibilities of how you could create more money, how you could solve a situation, how you could make something better, how you could improve your life, how you could improve your business, your profession. So it's always about some kind of an expansion. That's a natural quality of all the infinite beings that we are. But when you are in an abusive situation or in an environment, let's say at your workplace, or naturally just, let's say, the government is abusive or the tax department is abusive or whoever else or whatever else is that, um, then you naturally, like, you start to contract yourself. You're not looking any longer for possibilities. You're looking for, like, surviving, how you can survive. And that generates a totally different mentality. And also, it's possible that, in your relationship, your partner is abusive with you, or your family, your friends, someone else is abusive with you. And again, it will make you, so like, turn you towards that direction to look for survival, how you can survive these situations, how you can survive the attacks, that unkindness of these people in your daily life. And as a result, you will generate less and less money. Or if you work at a company as an employee, you will, like, let's say, your creativity, your effectiveness will reduce. So it has a really bad effect on your capacity of generating money. And what would it take for all of this to change? Like, what? Because just imagine that, if you go to work somewhere, or let's say if you are uh, a wife, a mom with kids at home, let's say you are not generating money and you are dependent on your husband's, your partner's income. And oftentimes there, like, this also can turn into a financial abuse, saying that, you are dependent. And how many times, like, a partner says, like, you're not earning anything, you and the kids are taking all the food, all the money, it costs a lot, this and that. This is also financial abuse. And also, let's say at the workplace, maybe, your boss tells you that if you don't generate money, if you don't generate income for the company, it's not worth to have you. And how many jobs there are that are, let's say, directly are not generating money, but indirectly they add to the value of the company. And of course, like, another question is that, why would you be sort of like generative, creative in a situation where you are not received? let's say your boss is not willing to receive you, your capacities, your greatness, your creativity. And in that sense, from a business perspective, they are right. You are not the right person for that kind of job, or from that approach, you are not generating money, so they don't need you. They would need someone else who is willing to act in a different way or have different skills. Yes, what's happening? Please. Yeah, let's do it. Cool. Thank you. Okay. So, for example, everyone could say that, like, if this is abusive, then how would a business survive? And if this is abusive, how would people survive, let's say financially, like those who have family, those who need to pay the bills? And all right, the other question is that what else is really possible? Because here you can sense there is sort of like force here. Like people are forced into a situation to go to work and try to generate money for certain activities that they don't desire, they don't enjoy too much. And what is that other situation or other way of resolving this that would work for everyone? And the question is that, like, where have we decided that we have to sort of like work at a company or work in a way that's not contributing to you? And where have we bought into it that there is the only way to survive, to work for a company? Like you cannot or not allowed to have your own business. How many times have had you been financially abused that you bought into that running a business is impossible or it's really hard and there is a high risk, it will not generate money or not, you know it's not going to be like successful at all because because how many times yeah how many times did you really uh, sort of like started to think about to start your own business? And it can be any type of business. It can be a business that is joyful for you. It can be something simple. It can be something that is easy for you because you have all those capacities. And just because it's easy for you, it doesn't mean it's not going to be needed. Because a lot of people would need that. Because for them, maybe it's not easy at all. They don't have ease with those skills, with those situations. So everywhere you decided that you're not valuable, or your skills are not valued, or everyone has these skills that you have, therefore they would not value it. Well, you now destroy and uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate. And also, everywhere you decided that running a business is really hard, it's really risky, and as well, finding your own business or finding the way to generate that financial reality that you desire is hard or impossible, or it's only possible for a few people. And everywhere, let's say, working at a company, sort of like it creates safety. Like you can feel safe at a workplace, meaning that you are useful over there, working for a company, especially for a government-owned company, it's a safe possibility and long term. So everything that it brings up and all the lies attached to it, will you now destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. So if we get back to this topic of the effect of abuse on you and on your approach, like on your financial approach, is that you're not just giving up your creativity and looking to improve your business or improve your profession, but you also start to give up yourself. You start to give up sort of like your financial approach to everything in life. You start to see yourself as a victim of this reality or a victim of this kind of taxation or this kind of ways of earning money. Let's say the victim of the actual financial system. So everywhere you bought into that, and everyone told you, like how many times did you hear that? That this financial system is sort of like abusing you or using you or not providing anything or not generous. And everywhere you bought into that, let's say, how much of that space that you are functioning from is actually belonging to other people? Let's say, belonging to others as a judgment. Just imagine that if everyone in this society is somehow abused financially, then most of the population will see it that the financial system is wrong, just because they cannot see other possibilities. Like they cannot see the possibility that they would generate their own fortune, then their own wealth. So if you start to give up these points of view, these judgments, and these lies that belong to other people, then again, you can also start to see possibilities. But at the same time, like how many of these lies are implanted into your belief systems, into your reality, even into your body? Did you know that your body can receive money, the energy of money, the energy of wealth, as it contributes to the body? The body is willing to receive all kinds of energies, anything that is juicy and generative to the body. And when you have a point of view that money and this financial reality is dirty, or it's a lie, or it's unfair, then naturally you shut down your capacity of receiving money. And not just receiving, but also generating money. So your body also will not receive money and look for money. So like on a long term, you teach your body to not receive money and also to not receive the energy of money. Because anytime when you look for something that would be from as per your definition, luxurious, something that's really expensive, then you start to tell yourself that it's too expensive. I don't have the money for that. It's not right. It's not fair to desire something that you cannot pay for. So you start to give up your capacity of receiving, even your capacity of desiring something that could, expand your life, that could add to your life quality. And it's not just about that if something is expensive, then they will, or that will expand your life. It's not equally true, but it's rather about how many things there are in your life that you, at some point of time, you desire to have, you desire to enjoy or go through that situation. And all of that was about money. Like all of that was about that if you don't have enough money, if you don't have that much money, then you cannot buy that situation, or you cannot pay for that situation, or you cannot generate the situation itself. So are you willing to give up all the lies attached to this and return back all the points of view and judgments to those people that originally it belongs to? And actually, in which many ways do you maintain these beliefs? Like which many ways do you align and agree to such financial reality? I mean, of course, everyone would say that I don't align and agree. Like, why would I do it? Because then I won't have money. But actually, the way it works, that we do this sort of like alignment and agreement to all these lies, we do it sort of like unconsciously. Because by that time, you've heard those lies so many times that it became part of your energetic reality. And of course, as a result, you start to function from that. So anywhere you look, you will see things through your filters. You can't even receive great possibilities because it's already limited for you. It's already judged as wrong or impossible for you. So everything that brings up and all the different ways you would stop yourself, will you now destroy and uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for all eternity? Like, who are you without other people's lies, judgments, and projections? And what is your financial capacity? What is your financial awareness that actually you could use, that could contribute to your life, to your future, and even to other people? Where have you decided that, there is sort of like, pretty sure you've heard about this, like, um, let's say in the East, it was sort of like an approach that the wealth is sort of like not infinite. Therefore, it has to be equally allocated or split between the population. And if it is equally split, allocated to everyone, then it will be fine. But, already this is a judgment that money and wealth cannot be generated, cannot become greater or more than what it was before. It's like an idea that there is no growth, there is no expansion possible. And everywhere you also bought into that it's not possible. Like everywhere you decided and you bought into that you can't generate enough money, therefore you can only expect that something magical will happen. Let's say this kind of, let's say, I don't know, let's say communism. That will finally happen and everyone will have equal amount of money. So there won't be rich, there won't be poor, just everyone will be equal. It doesn't really matter if they work or they don't work, everyone will have equal amounts of money. And everything that brings up for you will you destroy and uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for all eternity. Because what it does, it actually shuts down people's capacity of generating, people's capacity of creating a different life, people's creativity as well, shut down. All these ideas. It's equally like it does the same as, let's say, as the idea of like it's like the taxation system is wrong, or all the financial systems are wrongs, or there is that thing when everyone thinks that if someone is rich, then they are wrong, they did something wrong. Pretty sure they were stealing the money from somewhere, or they were, cheating, or doing whatever tricks in order to have money. So first of all, what if you are totally allowed to have money with ease? That you are allowed to have money as much you desire to have. So it's not a wrongness if you desire to have money. It's not a wrongness if your body desires to receive the energy of money. It's not a wrongness if you desire to have something luxurious in your life. It's totally amazing. But once you start to feel yourself wrong about it, then you start to look at it in a different way, in a way that doesn't really work. Because you start to judge everyone who is rich or everyone who can afford living that lifestyle. And, that's like looking into the mirror and saying that they are all wrong. But when you look into the mirror, you only see yourself. Like what I mean with this, that actually it's not that people are wrong who are willing to be rich and wealthy. It's always sort of like a pain for the people that I could also do that, but I didn't do it. Like everyone could have the possibility to become rich, to make their fortune, to generate lots of money. But many people are not living with the possibility because they are already financially abused, and they sort of like allow this kind of victimhood to affect them, to affect their business, to affect their financial reality, of course, even to affect their family. So everything that doesn't allow you to have ease and glory with money and all forms of money, even receiving money and especially paying taxes. Like anything that doesn't allow you to have ease with that will destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate. Because imagine that if you have a very low income and taxation, let's say the taxes are so high, then proportionally you will never earn much more because the tax will always take away a big portion of the money. So how many times did you stop yourself and did you stop your business? Because if you step beyond a certain limit, then the government or the tax department would take, let's say, 50, 60, or 70% of your income. And everything that brings up will destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate. Like, again, everywhere you stopped your business, you stopped your profitability in your business, just because your point of view was that big portion of this money will be taken by the government or any department. And like, I'm willing to recognize that this is just a point of view. And you got to this point of view because you already been abused big time. So you started to give up your capacity of receiving money and being present with money and reading the energetic dynamism of money. So who are you without money? Who are you if you were having infinite amounts of money? Like, what would you do? Like, would you do something crazy immediately? Or would you keep thinking about what you should do now with your money? And everything that brings up will destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for all eternity. Like, what if you don't have to make it wrong? Neither you don't have to make it right. You just can have your own reality. That means you can see how and what is the dynamic in these times about money and how people generate money. And actually, does it work for you? So if it doesn't work for you, then why would you keep choosing it? You would keep choosing it because you are sort of like perfectly and continuously was made wrong, and your financial decisions as well, or your financial capacities were made wrong as well. And of course, as a result, you start to have a life experience where anything connected to money is not working out well, very well for you. So everything that brings up for you will destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for eternity. Like, what if you could have ease, joy, and glory with all the information, with all the possibilities about money? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, basis creations, and beyonds. Good. So, do you have any question so far? Or did you receive any question? Okay, here's a great question. So, is it possible to increase self-worth and still experience the cycle of abuse and manipulation? Or is it possible to break free from the cycle of self-abuse and destructivity if someone grew up in a family with narcissistic parents? Okay, so the whole thing about yeah, let's clarify this part of the question. Like, is it possible to let go of your attitude, your way of thinking, your way of dealing with things if you've grown up in an abusive or narcissistic environment, especially in such family? Like, is there a possibility to ever give up and break free from these effects? And actually, these effects only work because we take it as valid. So there is you and your body, and you can sense and be aware of all the energies. And if you are not aware of the whole spectrum of energies, you're only aware of what, let's say, what is like can be sort of like picked up by your five senses. Sort of like what you can sense, what you can see, what you can hear. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's just 5–10% of the total energetic mixture, because behind it, what is not visible to you, there are all the hidden dynamics that are sort of like keeping the situation in such a way. And Mhm. And so the question is that, are you okay. So there is one part which is about how many lies and programs and implants did you buy into that's actually not yours? Because if something is not yours, that's not yours. And are you willing to recognize to all the things that are not yours? You know, you just been around to certain people and you bought into that you need to do things that way, that they suggest to you, or what they force on you. But in this thing, you are the one who has the power to say no, to reject the thing. Let's say reject that point of view, that judgment about money or judgment about business. But most of the time, what happens that you meet people who are like-minded. Like-minded can easily mean that they also have the same kind of points of view, same kind of judgments. Maybe they also went through the same kind of abuse that still affects them. So it's not always good to meet like-minded people because they would just sort of like reinforce your limitations, your lack of possibility of creating a different lifestyle. And everything that doesn't allow you to have your own life, to live your own life, to have ease with money and generate as much money that you desire. So anything that doesn't allow you to do that, have that, will you now destroy, non-create, eliminate, and eradicate for all eternity? So again, the question is that, is it possible to let it go? All these effects. So one part of that is that we buy into the lies that was told to us. We easily buy into that. And if you don't let go of all the lies, like you don't eliminate all the lies that you bought into, then you cannot become free. And also there is another part, like because this part was only about your belief systems. But then there is another part which is about your body and how many lies or abusive situations you lock into your body, just to survive. And anything that you lock into your body, it still have its own energetic vibration. Like it still radiates out that energy, that vibration. It radiates through your body, everywhere in your world. So what it means that all the people who are sort of like matching with that abusive energy, you will meet with them. Like primarily, you will pull in those people who are also functioning from being abusive. And once you start to clear the effects and the implants of abuse from the body and from the belief systems of the being that you are, then what happens, like slowly, you start to become aware of who you are and what works for you. What works for you financially and what works for you in all other areas. So who are you that you are unwilling to have your power? That like everywhere you bought into that, you don't have the power, but others have the power. Will you destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate? Like again, the abusive has the point of view, the abusive person, that you, let's say the victim, has something special about them. Like you are beautiful, you are rich, you are successful, you know something that they don't know. And And if you not let go of all these implants that you bought into, because these implants keep generating and keep spreading out the vibration of abuse. Let's say this, if you talk about financial abuse, like as long as you have the implants of a financial abuse or even a repeated set of events that happened to you many times during your life. So if you're not clearing that, then it will keep affecting you. Like just by yourself without not doing anything, it will not go away because you are the one who has the power in many ways. Like this is why the abusive or narcissistic people are abusing you because that disempowers you. And if you are disempowered, then it's much easier, or let's say insanely easy to sort of like control you, to have power over you. So anything that doesn't allow you to have clarity about all these relationships, will you destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate? And what if you could have ease, joy, and glory in all areas of your life? And also, if you come to the point of willing to generate your own financial reality, then everything starts to change. So, like everything in your life starts to be more valuable, starts to be much greater. So, who are you without your stories? Who are you without your families, your parents' stories? Who are you without your past? Who are you with all your failures, with all the stories about not making much money, or all the stories that was about the financial lacking in all areas of your life? Like whether it's your story, like your own experience, or you just heard that experience, anyway, it will have an effect on you that would shrink your reality or make your reality less and less and less. And there was a connected question that if you like, can you have naturally like self-value? And the thing is that like your self-worth or self-value works based on you need to sort of like clear all the different forms of abuse that was locked into your body. Because all these abuses, like all the abusive energies or all the abusive implants that you logged into your body, they keep pulling in the same type of people and the same type of situations. The same type based on what happened to you and when did it happen to you and how did it happen to you. And once you clear it from your body, then your body starts to rest, sort of like relax. It gets into relaxation mode instead of survival mode. So anything that doesn't allow you to have ease, joy, and glory till the end of the world, will you now destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for eternity? And so this is one part, to remove all different implants of abuse from the body. So it will not generate the same thing again and again and again. And the other part is to remove these belief systems from your reality. And of course, many people will not be like, won't be willing to remove it because they would say like, but I think half of it belongs to me and half of it belongs to others. Therefore, I don't want to give up the whole thing. And what if you could sort of like truly let go of all these situations without the need of giving up yourself or giving up who you are? And once you start to, let's say, if you reach these two things, one is that clear and get rid of all the implants, all the different ways how you maintain that financial reality. And also, once you start to clear all the lies and all the points of view that was told to you, that was based on you have no value, you are good for nothing. You know, if you keep hearing that too many times, you start to buy into it. But originally, it was never yours. Like this thing was never yours at the beginning, but you bought into it and you started to function from these lies. And maybe many of the people around you also functioning from the same lie. Therefore, if you want to break out, they would, let's say, get into your way and not let you get out. But still, the most important part is that to recognize that anything that's still logged into your body will regenerate that energy that was originally there. Like if you logged into your body a memory of an abusive situation as well, the choice that you made for the future in order to avoid such situations in your life. So once you recognize it, then you start to see that you are not the victim, but you sort of like bought into that idea that you don't have enough power and they have power. And this is actually not true because you have power. Because all these things can only stay attached to you because you gave up your power. Because you bought into it that these other people are more valuable and more capable than you. And everything that brings up for you, will you destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for eternity? So once you clear it from your reality as a being and also you clear it from the body, then suddenly your self-worth starts to sort of like recover. You don't even have to tell lies to yourself because your self-worth actually has nothing to do with your achievements. Did you hear that? Your self-worth has nothing to do with your achievements. Like most people say, like, you achieved nothing, therefore you are not valuable. And maybe from their point of view, you are not valuable. But you can ask for all the people who would value yourself to come into your life to show you how much they adore you or admire you, how much they are willing to contribute to you and your life. So anywhere you are unwilling to let go of all the belief systems that are maintaining or pulling back such abusive situations into your life, will you now destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for all eternity? And as well, all different ways you allowed this to affect you. And you sort of like maintain these implants or energetic imprints in your body, in your space, in your reality, it keeps sort of like holding you back. But once you give it up, all the limitations, all the beliefs, all the points of view, then suddenly you start to sense that life starts to become again so colorful, so vibrant, so energized. So are you willing to give up the need for such a situation with abuse? Like, are you willing to give up giving power to all the different forms of abuse, so therefore you would never become that wealthy and independent person or being that you truly be? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all 100 shorts, voice poets, basis creations, and beyond. We could ask, like, who are you without money? Maybe you are a burglar or a bugger. And everything you made vital, valuable, and real about money is the most important thing. Like, it's more important than your health because, you have to go to work, you have to keep creating anyway. And everything that brings up, will you destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for eternity? So maybe you already heard that we have a 3-day class in Liberec on the 28th to the 30th of November, like this month, which is going to be sort of like 3 weeks from now. And so this is all about the different forms of abuse. One part of it is the theory, because once you have the clarity about what is abuse and what is not abuse, once you start to see that who is abusive in your life, also, once you start to see that that there are different intensities with these abusive tools that people are using against you. So if you start to recognize that what is abuse and what is the intensity of abuse, or there is such thing as intensity of abuse, then you start to recognize the whole thing about abuse. Like you have enough information to be able to recognize it. So even if people around you would use something really protected or really secret tools to abuse you, and then you will recognize it. You will have the capacity to recognize it and not buy into their life and into their lies. So who are you without all the lies of abuse? And what have you made vital, valuable, and real about these lies? So one part of the class, again, is to learn to recognize the different forms of abuse. And also the other part is about learning to receive judgments, because judgment is sort of like a huge amount of energy that was like a title was put on it, which is like a judgment. But if you clear the title, that surface energy, from that moment, you can receive it and it will sort of like it's going to be added to your life, to your business, to your whole creation. And anywhere where you sort of like this, sort of like you are stuck in your life and you desire to get out of a stuck situation, then this class is again for you. If you don't want to keep repeating the same cycle because you keep meeting the same type of people, or you keep creating relationships or business relationships with the same type of people. So if you had enough of this, then we have all the tools to get out of that situation. Because once you start to clear out all the different implants of abuse from the body, then naturally you start to value yourself. And yeah, we will learn body processes to make it happen. And actually, if you would like to expand your body's capacity of receiving, like awaken and expand it again, we have a special body process for that one as well. Because as I mentioned, during abuse, we sort of like start to shut down or reduce the body's capacity of receiving. And if you would like to be a contribution to yourself, to your body, to your life, if you would like to create a different financial reality, or if you would like to find people who could match your financial reality, or who could contribute to your financial reality, then also this is the class for you, because it really can help you with all the tools. Okay. Do we have a question? Like, this is actually a 3-day class every day starting from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m., 3 days in a row in Liberec. And yeah, and looking forward to meeting all of you. We still have 3 weeks. So what have we decided? That it's not possible to manage it within such a short time period. What does it create if you start to choose yourself? If you start to not give up yourself, but choose what you desire to have, what you desire to receive as part of your life. Like how many, let's say, locked doors starts to open up for you in your life from the very moment you start to sort of like live as yourself, as who you are. And anything that doesn't allow you to have such ease will destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for all eternity. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pop. all 100 shorts, voice, poems, basis creations, and beyonds. Like, how many times did you go into a supermarket or did you go for shopping knowing that what would you like to purchase? And then on the way, salespeople were forcing all kinds of tools, equipments, or things, or clothes, dresses on you that you didn't want originally. Sort of like, what will it take for everyone to start to value themselves, value their awareness, and value their money, and willing to receive more money, and willing to become more aware in their lives? And everything that doesn't allow you to become so aware that you would know everything instantaneously. So everything that doesn't allow it will destroy, uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for all eternity. Okay. So actually, anyone who registered, I already sent to all of you the recordings of the previous two occasions. So you can also listen back those recordings, and maybe we will have one more, maybe, or maybe not, intros, or yeah, this kind of Zoom calls in the future about abuse. So if there is any other question that you think it wasn't covered or mentioned, please let us know. So maybe we can bring up that question again next time. And actually, so are you ready to get rid of all kinds of contracting of your space, of your reality, and start to expand out and start to actualize that financial reality that you desire to have? Because once you get rid of all different forms of abuse from the body, and actually, like, this is a really simple thing. You just need to make the decision, and you just need to use the tools. But I think this was one of the questions. Is it possible to finally and eternally remove abuse from the body and the being, from the mindset? And yes, it is possible. It is more than possible. It's totally possible, because it only requires to use these tools and run the clearings. And there will actually lots of live facilitation at the class. So if you have any issues, any topics, then please come and bring your questions, bring your topics to this 3-day class in Liberec. And it's going to be an amazing change. We just need, it's not a big deal. Like, don't worry. Like, there is no such thing as people would cry and make, a big tantrum and a big drama at the class. So if you are afraid of this, I don't remember when we had such thing of people making drama at the class. Like, most of the people are afraid that they have to go through all the terrible abuse again in their mind. And no, it doesn't work like that. You don't have to think of it again, or you don't have to sort of force yourself into the same energy again. And there are really amazing methods how you can get rid of it from your body and your being, and also how you can contribute to your clients in your business. Like, if you are running treatments, this could be a huge contribution to all the people who are coming from an abusive relationship or from an abusive, let's say, work relationship, or let's say as an employee, they were working for a company where they were abused for many, many years or even for decades. And there are so many other forms of abuse in our everyday life. So, but this is really amazing. And it's like, if you remove abuse from the body and the being, then you naturally start to value yourself. And not just that you naturally value yourself, like you don't need anyone or anything to keep your stamina or keep your, let's say, your self-worth up high, because the self-worth is diminished or reduced by all the judgments. So once you remove all these judgments, suddenly you start to feel like you are out of a cage where you've been for many, many years and decades, and suddenly you are free and you can use all your knowledge, all your energy and go and create your life. This is what I would like for everyone to recognize, that you have much more power, you have much more capacities, you are much more capable than what you ever thought. And yeah, this is because of abuse became part of everyone's life and makes everyone think that they are not capable, they are not ready, they don't have the power, and they don't have the tool to change their life. So anything that doesn't allow you to choose something greater for yourself, let's destroy and uncreate, eliminate, and eradicate for eternity. And again, what magical life you can have. And how much more ease will you have in your body, and how many of the symptoms, like illnesses in the body, will get naturally removed and cleared as a result of this 3-day class. Okay. If you didn't attend the previous 2 episodes, like I already sent out the recordings to all of you with this email again. So please watch it back and see what does it bring up for you. Like what is the information and what are the possibilities and what is the awareness that it brings up for you. And looking forward to everyone. Come and join us in Liberec and have so much fun in 3 weeks' time. And thank you for Susanna for the amazing translation, and also for Yana, because Yana is our host in Liberec. So if you have any questions, please feel free to turn to them. They will help you with all their capacities. Thank you, and I will send out the recording if you want to listen back again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and see you very soon. Bye-bye.